Welcome to Aesthetic TV. I'm Stuart Brazell. More and more patients request skin tightening, fat reduction, and body sculpting procedures that promise to achieve superior outcomes non-surgically and without pain or downtime. In turn, aesthetic practitioners are responding, seeking state-of-the-art energy-based devices to meet this demand. Aesthetic devices from Venus Concept offer patients just that. Venus Freeze and the Venus Legacy use a variety of energy-based technologies working together to achieve non-invasive removal of excess, loose skin and fat deposits, as well as reduce the appearance of cellulite. With me today is Domenic Serafino, CEO of Venus Concept, here to discuss these innovative aesthetic systems and how physicians can easily adopt these devices in their practices. Later on, we will be joined by Dr. Michael Gold, who will discuss his experience with this new technology in his practice. Welcome, Mr. Serafino.
Thanks for having me. It's a real pleasure to be here.
Now, you know, Venus is the Greek goddess of beauty. So tell us how your Venus devices help with that pesky beauty problem so many of us have.
Well, I think for the most part, people are looking for non-invasive type of solutions. They don't want to look overly done going through a surgical procedure. So our technologies really focus on creating a much more subtle improvement, and most people, that's what they're looking for, so that they look refreshed, they look a little bit healthier, fitter, and as opposed to going through a surgical procedure where they have a significant amount of downtime and potential problems with complications.
Who can benefit from these treatments?
I think most people, well, the beautiful thing about our technology has been that it's pretty much appropriate to any type of individual, whether they're light-skinned or dark-skinned. It's a very safe technology. It's extremely easy to use, and most of all, it's painless, which really makes it a very good experience for the patient.
Now, from what I've heard, Venus Freeze Legacy, they use a new technology called the pulsed magnetic field. Can you tell me more about that?
Well, pulsed electromagnetic fields have been used in medicine for well over 50 years, and ideally they've been used in the past in areas of diabetic wound healing, creating peripheral blood vessels, and actually helping expedite the process of healing. And what we've done is we've taken this technology and incorporated it into an aesthetic application so that we can actually help improve the clinical outcome in a much faster way than other technologies.
So what are the benefits of PMF?
PMF create peripheral blood vessels, they help oxygenate skin, and basically when patients come in, for example, for a facial procedure, they may be concerned about wrinkles. So the other part of our technology, radiofrequency, targets that, and basically the healthy tissue is supported by PMF, which allows us to now balance the skin, so you're repairing the damaged areas and maintaining the areas that aren't damaged so that you get a much more uniform outcome.
Your systems also make use of radiofrequency energy, which has become really state-of-the-art in heating tissue to tighten skin?
Correct. Our technology, however, uses radiofrequency in a different way. I mean, there are a lot of devices out there that use radiofrequency. The difference with ours is we use it in a multipolar environment. So what that means is that we're able to deliver a significant amount of energy to create a clinical outcome without causing any pain or any risk of complication.
Now, is this considered one of the most advanced combined technologies currently available for non-invasive treatments?
Well, certainly based on the experience that we've had of doing over 2 million procedures a year without any complications, and our physicians are extremely pleased. We're very confident that we've been able to develop a technology that gives us just the right amount of balance between clinical outcome, safety, and obviously affordability for the physician and for the patient.
And can you tell me a little bit about bipolar radiofrequency implementation?
Right. Most technologies will either work as a bipolar or a unipolar device. In our case, what we've done is we've taken 8 or 12 electrodes, depending on the device, and we've been able to take a greater amount of total energy and distribute it over a larger area, which means that we're able to deliver a maximum amount of energy in a very comfortable and easy way, so that patients will get an outcome very quickly without any kind of discomfort, and obviously clinics have a greater level of confidence in being able to deliver these procedures.
And how is it different from other available energy-based devices?
In our case, what our technology allows us to do is be much broader in terms of its use. So we're able to treat everything from facial applications to body applications. It's an extremely flexible platform, whether it's the Venus Freeze or the Venus Legacy, and therefore it provides for an economic model that is very appealing to physicians as well as patients, because the treatments are very affordable.
And you've also released the Venus Legacy. Is this newer system also used for body contouring?
Correct. What we've done with our technologies is a sort of an evolution of products. So we started with our Venus Swan, which is our first generation, learned from that, grew to the Venus Freeze, and ultimately the Venus Legacy is the byproduct of that experience. And the Venus Legacy is a far more aggressive technology, far more versatile, and basically the Legacy has been targeting more fat than anything else, and we've experienced some very excellent results when it comes to treating body contouring issues, cellulite, and obviously with shrinking fat cells.
Now, Venus Concept is in the business of helping physicians purchase these systems, offering a great financing plan. So what is the deal exactly?
I think with us, one of the things that we recognized early, and I've been in the industry for 22 years, and we experienced, sort of a shift when the economic realities of 2008 occurred. And so what happened is physicians are constantly being asked to make huge capital investments into their practice, realizing that every 18 months they're going to have to upgrade their technology. What we did is we worked more on a subscription base, realizing that physicians couldn't afford any longer to go into $100,000 per unit debt. And so what we said is that we're prepared to put our money where our mouth is, and so we aligned ourselves with physicians, essentially building a subscription-based business which allowed the doctor to cash flow so they wouldn't tie up any of their personal cash that they need for running their practice by using our technologies, and consequently we provide them enough support to ensure that they're successful.
It sounds like a very hands-on approach.
That's the only way it'll succeed today. I think that what's really important, the company will ultimately become the biggest in our industry, will be the one that recognizes that physicians are science-based people, they're not business-based people. And for those who are able to provide a solution that's not only a technology, but also a solution on how to bring patients to the clinic, how to manage those patients, how to help your staff be efficient within your clinic, that's the most important things that a company can do today, and the companies that are prepared to do that and take a hands-on approach and work one-on-one are the ones that ultimately will be successful.
Well, this sounds like it could be really beneficial to a doctor's aesthetic practice. So let's bring out Dr. Michael Gold, Director of the Gold Skincare Center and Tennessee Clinical Research Center in Nashville, Tennessee. Dr. Gold uses the Venus Freeze and Legacy daily in his office. So come on, welcome to Aesthetic TV.
Thanks.
It's great to have you here. So nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And you guys are friends.
Yes, we are.
Each other a little bit.
You've done quite a bit of clinical testing of the Legacy. So what have you uncovered?
So I run a very large clinical research center, and we're fortunate that we are able to study devices from a lot of companies. So we have looked at Legacy and other devices from Venus, and what we found is A, it works, B, the patient satisfaction is really high, and C, the side effect profile is minimal. And that's what we're looking for in these devices. So safe, painless, minimally invasive treatments that give us the results we're looking for.
So for the physician, what are the main selling points of these systems?
Well, I think for the main selling points is that they get to partner with a company with personnel that have been around the aesthetic business for a long time. That's unique. We've been doing this for a long time, and you don't want to necessarily reinvent the wheel, but you want to work with people that have visions and insights on what has worked in the past really well and what can be working better and do things differently in the future. And Dom's done a really good job with his team of saying, okay, we're going to partner with physicians and we're going to make it work on an economic basis. Again, as I said, we're not business people as a rule, but we need to understand there's a business component to this. And again, with Venus, as I said, we have treatments that work and we have a business model that works. So that's really a nice selling point for the docs.
And you've used many, many energy-based systems in your work. So what makes the ones from Venus Concept stand out for you?
Well, I judge a machine and the treatments, on how the patient responds. So I have over 45 energy-based devices in my clinic. I'm lucky. But at the same time, we look at, when do we turn the device on during the day and when does it go off? Venus is one of those devices that my staff, when they get there, they turn it on, and patients come in throughout the course of the day, and when we leave, they turn it off. So I don't say that about every machine in my office, and that's where we can, sort of put Venus at the top of the list of our treatments that we're doing now because the machine goes all day. And that helps as well because it doesn't break down. And so we also look at devices and what is their, if a machine is down, I don't make money. And so we want to make sure, again, that we're dealing with companies that are really good about developing devices that are, are not going to give us the downtime that we don't want.
How have your patients responded to these treatments?
Well, as I said, that we don't turn it off. So Yeah, so it's well. I mean, it's the kind of thing. If you have a good experience, you're going to tell your friends. If they have a good experience, so it sort of rolls right down the pike. Everybody is hears about it, and they want to get that thing. What's that thing that Susie had? What's the thing that Mary had? And so that's how we sell it. I mean, we don't have to do a lot of advertising. It sells itself.
So how would you characterize the patient's experience?
So patient experience is really important. If you do a treatment that hurts and it's the best thing in the world, but it's so painful, they're not going to tell their friends and they're not going to come back if they need more treatments. So we look for things that work, are painless, and a comfortable experience. So you're doing the treatment and it's a warmth sensation, but it's not a painful sensation. So nobody leaves the clinic going, oh my gosh, I just had the worst thing I've ever had. I'm never going to go see Dr. Gold again. It's the opposite. I had a great thing and I can see results already. I know I need more because I really want to make it. And then all of a sudden you see they change their lifestyle, they change their eating habits, they start working out. They do things that I want them to do every day anyway. And now we're just adding to it with things that we know are going to benefit them.
Typically, how many sessions does it take to see results?
Well, I actually think patients will start to see results almost immediately. But we tell our patients, expect a series of treatment over time. Up to 4 or 5 treatments is a norm. Some people need 2, some people need 8. It's up to how the patient responds. But again, patients won't come back if it doesn't do anything. You can make it into a package. It doesn't matter. If it doesn't work, they're not going to come back. So we actually are pretty comfortable that our patients are going to start seeing visible results almost at the beginning, and then we add on it with each additional treatment.
The new Viva handpiece uses fractional radiofrequency energy. What capability does that add to the Legacy?
So one of the things that I've been very passionate about over the last couple of years is what we call bipolar fractional radiofrequency. It is an amazing technology to make wrinkles better, to make acne scars and traumatic scars better. And Venus has looked at it in a way that is sort of the next generation. How can we deliver the energy more clean, deeper, more powerful, yet completely safe? And that's what they've done, and that's part of our clinical research ongoing right now, is looking at the Viva and seeing what it can do. And so far the results have been pretty spectacular. This is a technology that creates little holes with radio frequency. And so the benefit of that is that you see very little damage on the skin surface, but I can target that damage under the skin like really no other device is out there. And that's what makes it different. And so as we get into this next generation, we're going to have an even better technology for our patients.
What are your impressions of Venus Concept, the company?
They're innovative, okay? And I think that's really important. I don't know of any other company right now that has this purchase plan, this partnership program. I know a few companies looking at it, and he probably doesn't even know that yet. But I know that they're going, well, Dom has done something unique, and it's working. There's a huge amount of installed base, and the docs are loving the fact that not only do they not have to outlay $100,000 again, but they're actually working with a company that says, okay, what do you need to learn, Dr. X? Social media. Okay, how do I get onto Facebook? How do I use Instagram and all these other things and send out tweets that most of us don't do, okay? I'm beyond that in some of my, in my years of trying to get down there and actually use it. So they work with the staffs and they actually teach them how to do this. And again, social media drives this whole thing, and they work with us. And even here at this meeting, they've had people at the booths, consultants telling people, let's sit down and go over your social media strategy and how we can help you with that. So that's where the company is separating himself. As I said also at the beginning, the people also separate it. Dom mentioned he's been in the business 22 years. I'm a little older in the business, but that's important, okay? I don't want to really deal with somebody who's, I just joined 3 months ago, and I come from the copy business, or I come from selling, cookies. They don't know what I do. So again, I think we've got a very stable company with a great outlook on what the future is for us. And, you know, it's been a pleasure working with them.
How do you characterize your return on investment?
Well, I get numbers every day. It's one of the things, maybe I'm different than most doctors, but I actually look at what are the devices doing. If they're not making money, then you forget it. So now when I purchase a device, I actually sit down with my staff and say, okay, this device costs this amount of money, and we have this amount of time to make back our money, and then everything is profit. So it's a really different model for me. So we look at this, and what I know from Venus is that for the most part, this is probably the most profitable procedure doctors are doing. The doctors aren't doing it, the staff is doing it. Train people, come in and teach the staff how to do this and how to make the machines work. And again, for the doctor, this is a wonderful return on the investment. You make money. And again, the painless, efficacious, we're helping our patients. That's the main thing. But in the bottom line is we still run a business. And in the end of the day, if I do all those things and make a profit, then I'm a happy boy.
Well, this has been such an informative explanation of a cool technology, and I've learned quite a bit from both of you. Your expertise will make our physician viewers make informed decisions, so thank you, Dr. Gold.
Thank you.
And thank you, Dom. I feel like I can call you that now.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
And thank you for joining us. We're always glad to have you with us here on Aesthetic TV. I'm Stuart Brazell. Stay tuned and stay beautiful.